Sturdy.
Yep. It's too bad. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Some exciting things to cover today. But I want to start first by thanking our former chair and our friend, colleague, Lyndall Manson, for opening her house last night. Lovely event, really lovely. We missed Michael, of course, but it was just a fantastic event for us to be together. So thank you for that. I also want to just pause and express what I hope everyone is feeling, which is what an extraordinary time to be in Arizona higher education. The last 3 weeks has been breathtaking in its scope and in its success. I mean, consider, I'm sure many of you got up as I did to watch that wonderful moment, watching the OSIRIS-REx parachute landing that sample from Bennu, knowing it was just going to turn around, go back out, do it again. Seeing that the U of A just landed this fascinating new National Science Foundation grant around sound, the leadership in NSA and in NASA, Bobby. I mean, you guys, you're breaking records and fundraisers, fantastic stuff. ASU, the DoD hub is huge. It is transformative. It is both a recognition that Arizona is ready to join the leadership in the world in this advanced manufacturing and certainly national security issues. That we won this competition says volumes about ASU. I'm allowed to say that there will be an announcement in the next day or two of an $80 million grant from USIA, which establishes yet again ASU's leadership around the world. Many of us are off to Orlando to go watch the Psych launch. Yesterday, obviously, this amazing announcement of the McCain Center, which is fantastic. NAU in its new class, 2,200 students on the Access to Excellence track. Absolutely. So I can't think of a time that we have been more proud of the leadership, the success, the ambition, and most importantly, the role in higher education, transforming lives, transforming families, and ultimately transforming the economic success and growth of the state of Arizona. The notion that some would doubt our existence is mind-boggling to me, and I will leave it there. But so this is a split screen moment in Arizona, as many of the candidates on the Republican stage said the other night, it's a time to choose. Well, it's a time to choose for Arizona. And we're choosing higher education. We're choosing knowledge. We're choosing to compete. We're choosing to lead. We're choosing to drive Arizona into a 21st century economy. And I just wanted to start by saying, couldn't be more proud to be chairman of this board at this time as we make this case. So just wanted to start. So today, the first item on our agenda is we're going to focus on Northern Arizona University and some very exciting developments here. As everyone in this room, and I hope increasingly the public appreciates, the regions take their responsibility to workforce assignment really seriously. About a decade ago, it was clear that in order for Arizona to be more competitive, we needed to dramatically increase the number of engineers. And have we done that? We've done it of all of our schools. ASU now the biggest engineering school in the country. U of A is growing. NAU is growing. We are meeting that assignment. And that is reflected in Taiwan Semiconductor and NASA and all these things that are happening. 5 years ago, the teacher shortage seized our state, and Governor Ducey and the legislature and the board got together and said, let's build this Arizona Teachers Academy. Let's see if we can go after the teacher shortage. Well, they say that, you know, the old saw that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago and the second best day is today. Well, that applies to healthcare. We have a growing crisis with an insufficient number of healthcare workforce that exists across doctors and nurses and allied health, and it manifests in too many of our citizens who can't get care. When they get care, they get it late or they get it in the emergency room at a higher cost. And so we are taking on the assignment to address it through Arizona Healthy Tomorrow initiative. All three of our universities have stepped up. The U of A, President Robbins outlined his strategy around continuing to grow the College of Medicine in Tucson and Phoenix into a regionally and nationally recognized academic medical center, to expand their telehealth and rural leadership around the state of Arizona, to really drive excellence in clinical care. ASU presented its plan a couple months ago at our meeting, brand new medical school in Phoenix with a focus on engineering, growing more nurses, opening up ASU clinics across the state of Arizona. These are exciting, big, transformative things. And today, I couldn't be more excited to get our peek at chapter 3 of our initiative, which is NAU's vision and role in this initiative to meet the needs of our state, particularly in rural Arizona and in the tribal communities of Arizona. And so it is with great excitement and anticipation that I turn the microphone over to President Cruz Rivera.
Thank you, Chair Duval, for that introduction, and thank you to the members of the Board of Regents, leaders from Arizona State University and the University of Arizona, colleagues from Northern Arizona University, and members of the public for joining us this morning. Last year, I stood before this board and declared that the state of our university was strong. At the end of my presentation, you shared your appreciation and admiration for the many accomplishments of our university community. Today, 12 months later, I am proud to state that the state of our university is not only strong, but that it is also unequivocally the strongest since our founding as a Northern Arizona Normal School. That our prospects are as bold and boundless as they have ever been, and that our determination to be the university for all Arizonans, the university for the new Arizona, is not only a thing we say, it is a thing we actively pursue. And I can say this confidently because in the 2 years and counting of our 17th presidency, the NAU community of teachers, learners, scholars, and advocates has been and remains resolute, mobilized, and engaged in advancing the vision we have set forth in our strategic roadmap, NAU 2025. A vision that calls on NAU to elevate excellence by fueling opportunity, propelling upward mobility, and driving social impact. Proud as I am of all that the people of NAU have accomplished this past year, I know time is short and the list of things to do is long. So in my remarks today, I will limit the number of words I use and minimize the PowerPoint slides you will see. And I will do this as I seek to present a vivid picture of a university which has done much to shore up its 124-year legacy of leadership and accelerate the kind of future the people of Arizona need today. In doing so, I will not recount the hundreds of initiatives chronicled in our recently published NAU 2025 Elevating Excellence Progress Report, which were further described in my fall 2023 University Convocation Address. I will just simply state for the record that this year, NAU elevated academic excellence, reveled in student success, redoubled our commitment to Indigenous peoples, generated impactful scholarship, supported our mission-driven, diverse faculty and staff, strengthened our engagement with the community, and stewarded our resources to great effect. As to a detailed accounting of how we have shored up our 124-year legacy of leadership and accelerated the kind of future the people of Arizona need today, I will structure my remaining remarks in two parts. First, I will demonstrate how NAU has successfully addressed the 3 M's, the 3 operational issues this board and the campus community highlighted during the transition to our 17th presidency as needing attention: morale, mission, and money. Second, inspired by the momentum we have collectively built and confident on the strength of the foundation we build upon, I will unveil our plans for NAU Health, which entail a bold redeployment of our university's nursing and health professions programs and if you're ready for this, and the launch of a distinctive College of Medicine designed from the ground up by NAU to meet the critical primary healthcare needs of the people of Arizona. Yes, you heard right. More than 60 years after NAU, then known as the Arizona State College, started plans for its first health-related program, an associate's degree in nursing, we are launching a College of Medicine that will do for the people and communities of Arizona what U of A does for the science of medicine and what ASU does for the engineering of medicine. And we will build this new College of Medicine in the same thoughtful and purposeful way that our associate's degree in nursing was built 6 decades ago, fueled by the urgency of our times. In 1957, a memo from J. Lawrence Walkup to President Eastbourne painted the urgency of the work that needed to be done, acknowledging that Northern Arizona was, quote, in desperate need for trained nurses. Today, NAU Health's sense of urgency, in turn, acknowledges the dearth in primary healthcare providers, especially MDs, serving our most underserved people in Northern Arizona and statewide. So let me get back on track. First, I will talk about the state of our university, the 3 M's, and then we'll come back to NAU Health. The first of the 3 M's, morale. Morale at NAU, simply stated, is high. And in my opinion, this is why our community has been able to amass the record of success it has in the past 2 years. While there is always work to do, we have coalesced around a strategic vision, built trust in our relationships, and enacted a series of policies and practices under our new NAU Workplace Initiative that have demonstrated our people-first commitment in advancing our mission. Examples of our work include the ratification of a new faculty constitution, the elevation of the Staff Advisory Council and our undergraduate and graduate student governments in shared governance structures, a hybrid-first approach to in-person and remote work, a holiday closing policy, True Blue Fridays, a 4-day summer work week, paid time off to volunteer in the community, enhanced parental leave benefits, and the establishment of an NAU-run childcare center, among many other initiatives. Indeed, in the past 2 years, through the careful stewardship of our resources, NAU has invested nearly $30 million in our people through long overdue salary adjustments alone. We have increased salaries across the board, raised the lowest paid wages for students, faculty, and hourly staff roles, and created a new teaching track faculty line to reflect our priority as a teacher-scholar-driven institution. One important result of our efforts is that in fiscal year 23, we registered the highest year-to-year employee retention rate since fiscal year 2017. The second M is mission. And as we all know, NAU's mission is focused and differentiated. We have fully embraced becoming the university for all Arizonans by scaling our offerings, expanding our reach, and increasing our impact throughout the state. There are many components to this work as we have laid out in our NAU 2025 strategic roadmap, but for our purposes now, I will just focus our attention on enrollment, as it speaks to the quality of our access and retention efforts and the perceived value of a college education at NAU by our community. Simply stated, enrollment is good. For the first time since fall 2018, NAU's total enrollment has increased year over year, with more total graduate students and Arizona residents and international students than we had in previous years. And this increase has been fueled by back-to-back record years in new student enrollment. In fact, an examination of our fall 2023 entering class shows that we have students from 51 states and territories, over 80 countries, Undergraduates in Flagstaff are up by 7%. Undergraduates statewide are up 19%. Graduate students are up 2%. Arizona residents are at an all-time high with over 4,300 new students. Native American students are at an all-time high, up 43% from last year. Hispanic Latinx students are up 4%, Black students are up 17%, and 50% of our new class of Arizona resident students qualified for access to excellence. And the value of an NAU education is also up. Just a few weeks ago, NAU moved into Tier 1 of the Third Way Economic Mobility Index. That is, thanks to our efforts to broaden access, promote affordability, support students through progression, and deliver exceptional academic programs, NAU is recognized among the best institutions in the nation at ensuring that students derive full value from their degrees. Third M, money. NAU's financial health is strong. Our credit rating and outlook is unchanged and stable. Our debt level is down, well within the statutory debt capacity limit. Our debt capacity is up almost $100 million from 5 years ago. Our cash liquidity is well within ABOR-approved levels and at the upper range of NAU's history. Our fiscal year 23 auxiliary revenue was the highest in NAU's history. Our fiscal year 23 facility and administrative overhead revenue was the highest in NAU's history. Our fiscal year 23 cost containment efforts were very productive with millions of dollars in savings in renegotiated leases and contracts and lowered energy costs alone. And interestingly, and as a testament to the exceptional work of our teachers, scholars, even as NAU has stopped actively over-investing in the pursuit of an R1 designation, federal research expenditures in fiscal year 23 reached a record $79 million, up from $59 million when I arrived 2 years ago. And finally, a testament to the excitement around new NAU and the hard work of our NAU Foundation and advancement teams, we have had 2 back-to-back record years in fundraising. In fiscal year 22, with a revitalized vision in place, our philanthropic partners gave NAU an all-time record of $21.5 million. Remember that number, $21.5 million. In fiscal year 23, with a demonstrated record of action we could point to, our philanthropic partners gave us a whopping $53 million, obliterating the prior year's all-time high. And in case you're wondering, as of today, just 1 quarter into fiscal year 24, we have raised more than $21.7 million. That is more than we raised in our record year, fiscal year 22, when we were proud to say we had been just so successful. So yes, our financial health is strong, but to fuel our bold ambitions built on our strong record of success and demonstrated commitment to excellence, we need significant new investments from the state, investments to ensure that financial constraints do not stand in the way of those who seek to meet their full potential through an education at NAU, and investments to propel NAU's efforts to expand its reach and increase its impact on behalf of the people of Arizona. Which brings me to one such bold ambition, born out of NAU's commitment to the prosperity and well-being of the great state of Arizona, NAU Health. In short, NAU Health is a forward-thinking initiative aimed at improving health outcomes for all Arizonans, particularly those in rural, indigenous, and underserved communities. Through this effort, NAU seeks to double the number of degrees awarded in health-related fields by 2030. The signature component emerging from NAU Health, the College of Medicine, will be designed from the ground up on an innovative model that is true to NAU's identity, leverages institutional and regional resources, and is responsive to the needs of Arizona and Arizonans. To this end, NAU's College of Medicine is being designed to be affordable, with low to no debt options available for in-state residents, with tuition assistance, reduction and forgiveness programs designed to retain physician graduates in-state for primary care practice. Accelerated pathways to practice will be enhanced and accelerated by 3-year medical education programs, as well as 3+3 bachelor's to MD pathways at NAU. Teaching focus, built on NAU assets in health equity, population health, biomedical research, and indigenous knowledge. The college will emphasize teaching and practice. Integrative will incorporate a variety of lenses and approaches throughout its curriculum, including behavioral health, community population health, and culturally informed health traditions and practices, and founded on partnerships. A partnership-driven enterprise collaborating closely with healthcare providers and agencies throughout Arizona. Now, NAU Health is more than just a College of Medicine. It will also introduce significant advances to existing programs in nursing, health professions, and behavioral health programs, highlighted by the following enhancements. Creating a College of Nursing at NAU. NAU's School of Nursing will be elevated to a freestanding college in recognition of this critical set of academic programs that they provide and the need to enhance visibility and impact at the state and national levels. In addition to continued growth in program offerings throughout the state, the College of Nursing will heighten NAU's ability to address Arizona's nursing shortage through strengthened partnerships, improved alumni relations, expanded development opportunities, and more robust recruitment and retention of talented mission-driven nursing faculty. And another important component is the elevation of health professions education in the College of Health and Human Services. NAU will double the number of degrees awarded and students retained to practice in Arizona across the health professions disciplines that include physical and occupational therapy, physician assistant studies, dental hygiene, and more. Emphasis will be placed on creating pathways and partnerships with community colleges to accelerate educational attainment in these fields. The development of a core interprofessional program that supports provider education across disciplines with skills aligned with the College of Medicine, including community practice and health equity, and the creation of residency and credential programs for practicing healthcare providers to advance practice in rural and underserved communities. It will be through the holistic approach of the various components of NAU Health that we will strengthen health systems and increase workforce capacity, improving access to care for vulnerable patients and populations in Arizona. Now, to lead this ambitious work, NAU Health will be led by our very own Dr. Julie Baldwin, a nationally recognized expert in health equity. Dr. Baldwin serves as Executive Director of the Center for Health Equity Research at NAU, is a Regents Professor of Health Sciences, and is a member of the National Academy of Medicine. And thanks to the generous multi-year philanthropic gift from the Northern Arizona-based NARBA Institute, Dr. Baldwin will begin her tenure as the founding NARBA Institute Vice President for NAU Health on January 1st. And we are fortunate to have with us in the audience the President and CEO of the NARBA Institute, Mary Jo Gregory. Please stand. Let's give her a big round of applause. The scope of work for NAU Health is significant, and obviously starting a medical school is a huge endeavor, so NAU is leaving nothing to chance. We are calling on experts from across the country and the state in medical education to aid in the design of the new college. Experts in medical education and primary care practice who will shape the broad design considerations and sharpen our focus to ensure we can meet the needs of the students we will enroll and the communities they will serve. When Dr. Baldwin begins her tenure as VP of NAU Health, her first charge will be to convene this impressive group of thought leaders and advocates to move us through these vital design steps. As of today, the membership of the Medical Education Advisory Committee, which will be co-chaired by Dr. Baldwin and Mary Jo Gregory, President and CEO of the NARBA Institute, includes Amanda Aguirre, President and CEO of the Regional Center for Border Health, Sanjeev Arora, Director and founder of Project ECHO, Teresa Birch, Chief Medical Officer and Chief Wellbeing Officer of the NARBA Institute, Mark Carroll, Chief Medical Officer, Health Choice Arizona, Dan Hunt, Co-Secretary to the Liaison Committee on Medical Education and Senior Director of the Accreditation Services at the Association of American Colleges, Medical Colleges, Dale G. Kirch, President Emeritus and of the Association of American Medical Colleges, Trudy Milner, SVP and Chief Operating Officer of the Yuma Regional Medical Center, Ann Newland, Chief Executive Officer of North Country Healthcare, Dave Cheney, MBA, FACHI, CEO of Northern Arizona Healthcare, and our good friend and colleague, distinguished Robert C. Robbins, President of University of Arizona. As we launch NAU Health, we are pleased to proceed with support from ABOR through the Arizona Healthy Tomorrow initiative, generous philanthropic support, robust and growing networks of partners, and other sources of financial and in-kind support paving the way. So I am confident in our ability to meet the imperative before us, and crucially to do so in a manner that does not impact the resources available to our current work streams throughout the university, but rather in a manner that encourages increased public investment in recognition of NAU's value proposition. With the board's support, I can confidently state that NAU Health will be built to elevate and optimize our existing excellence and be additive to our university's impact and reputation in Arizona and beyond. With the state support, the dividends from NAU Health would be accelerated and multiplied according to the pace and levels of public investment granted. Thank you so much, and go Jacks. And before you all leave, these fortune cookies were strategically placed in your tables. There's only good fortunes in them. So I hope you will check yours out. With that, I'll turn it back over to Chair Duval, and happy to take any comments or questions from the board.
Thank you, Mr. President. Anybody excited? I think you struck a nerve, Mr. President. Well done. First, I just want to say vision, exciting, timely, necessary. This is the definition of service. Thank you for giving us something which meets the state's needs, but which is also so beautifully in alignment with the DNA of NAU's service mission. Really thoughtfully done relative to rural communities, relative to our need for general practitioners, and obviously the severe need we have on our tribal communities. You are really bringing us something that's exciting, that's relevant, that underscores our importance to the state of Arizona. And so let me just be first to say congratulations and thank you for that. Comments, questions from Regents?
I think we're all stunned into silence.
Stunned into silence. Yeah. Give it another minute.
Yeah,
please. Thank you.
As a resident of Flagstaff, I am really excited about NAU's direction, NAU's commitment to Arizona, NAU's commitment to making Northern Arizona, in particular, a better place to live, a better place to work, a better place to be. Not that it isn't great, but sometimes we lose some of the attention that the population centers of the state get. And so I am incredibly grateful to you for your leadership, for the team that you have put together, who is extraordinarily strong. And I am very, very excited for the future of NAU and the future in Northern Arizona.
Chair Duval.
Thank you. Yes, Regent Brewster.
Expect nothing less from you. Bold, meaningful, exciting. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for putting a team together at this stage that resonates, and the mission, nothing less than bold. Thank you on behalf of the state of Arizona. This is something we've waited for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Brewster. Regent Penley?
Thank you, Regent Duvall. President Cruz Rivera, as other regents have said, this is bold and impressive. But I have to say what I especially liked was its sense of place, recognizing the importance of Northern Arizona, the indigenous communities that lie across the state, but are especially large in this part of Arizona. This is a unique place in all of the world with the Colorado Plateau. And you have made this place central to what you're doing with NAU Health. I applaud it. Thank you.
Regent Mata?
Thank you. Thank you for elevating that morale that you just mentioned and seeing, you know, all the faces here smiling. And every time I walk to the NAU, no matter where I go, I can feel, because you can feel the energy. That is very important. But also, moreover, impressive of the multicultural way of you integrating all the communities together. And I'm not going to add more because already Regent Manson, Penley and Brewster already said it. Felicidades por todo el gran trabajo que ha hecho por esta comunidad. I know I'm speaking Spanish. I can speak better when I express in Spanish and he understands. That's why I do it. And also our Regent Pacheco, who can also, you know, relate with us. Gracias por darnos esta oportunidad de sentir esa energía incalculable, ese entusiasmo y cambiar la cultura organizacional de NAU. Eso ha sido un impacto increíble y todos estamos sumamente contentos, sumamente, no hay palabras para expresar. So thank you so much.
Gracias.
Well, thank you, Regent. I'm glad to say I couldn't have said that better, but then again, I couldn't have said that. Comments, other comments, questions from other colleagues? Well, that's a pretty warm response, Mr. President. Thank you. It does, however, leave us with a piece of business. While today is about NAU's vision and plans to do this, the beneficiaries are the citizens of Arizona. This is about providing more physicians and nurses and allied health and providing more access at lower cost with better outcomes, better health, better wellness, better result for the state of Arizona. The beneficiaries of this are those people in our state who we serve. And in that regard, we need, require, and hope that the state is a full partner in getting this off the ground. Our universities have well-deserved global reputations for innovation, and the breadth and innovation that's embedded in the partnerships that we have is stunning and remarkable. And there is no doubt that we will pursue partnerships as aggressively as possible and in ways unthought of and in ways that other states don't do because their state tends to pick up a much bigger piece of the tab. So we owe that to the state, and I know that you and President Robbins and President Crow and all of these new ambitions will do that. But it can't be done without state support. And I'm appreciative that you've put that out. We had a meeting in August where we tentatively made passed our proposed budget request to the state of Arizona. We've invited you to think more ambitiously and to amend that number to reflect the ambition and the service and the objectives that you've described to us this morning. And so we need to, in that spirit, amend our budget request to the state of Arizona. And so need to go to the board to put that issue out for a motion and discussion relative to the proposal that we'll make to our state partner. Any regents prepared to address that? Can I don't know if that I can make the motion, but what we need to do is the proposal is to take the NAU component of our state budget request. ASU's and U of A's are set to $40 million. And I hope the board will entertain that idea and that someone will address that, put it into a motion, and that we can get on with the business with our soon to arrive governor of putting our proposal forward.
Are you asking for a motion?
I am, yes.
So moved.
It's moved. Do I have a second?
Second,
Moved and seconded that we will increase the NAU component of the ABOR budget request to $40 million. All those in favor? Yeah. There we go. Thank you. What a pleasure to have you, Governor. I want to say we're grateful for many reasons, but one is I don't know if everybody appreciates what your week has been like. But she started her week in Asia, Taiwan, and South Korea, with a 2-day stop in Washington, D.C., only to get up at 3:30 in the morning yesterday in order to be at the big announcement in Tempe yesterday, and then here in Flagstaff today. So, Governor, thank you. It's a major effort. Welcome you here. It is always exciting when a fellow regent who also happens to be governor joins us for a conversation. And our partnership has gotten off a terrific start. We spent a few minutes hearing from NAU, as we have before from ASU and U of A, about healthcare, and your seed grant of $15 million helped really put that together. So thank you. And your announcement just a couple of days ago at the U of A about the grant to on the Sound Institute. Exciting when we have this kind of potential, and it's a pleasure to introduce you. And I've dispensed with the remarks that your staff gave me because I just want to say something about you personally. I've known Katie Hobbs for a long time, and she really, her being is really about two things. Katie Hobbs lifts people up. It has defined her as a social worker, as someone who is actively involved in domestic abuse. It has defined her as a state senator, as a Democratic leader in the legislature, and defines her as governor. Secondly, she is unafraid of the big challenges that seem difficult, hard, politically taxing, and sometimes are kicked down the road. And Governor, I guess what we would say to you is I think those two things are exactly the same business we're in. We're in the business of lifting students up, lifting families up, and we're in the business of research, solving Arizona's problems, and trying to address the long-term challenges that we face as a state. So this partnership is one that has enormous potential, and we're grateful that you're here and look forward to your remarks.
Did you hear or the podium?
Your choice, Governor. You are the governor.
Do I need to do anything to turn this? Is this on? Okay, great. Well, good morning, everyone. I am so pleased to join you for this Arizona Board of Regents meeting. And, as governor of Arizona, I'm non-partial to our universities, but it's great to be here at my alma mater in AU. So I am so pleased to join you all for this Board of Regents meeting. Chair Duval, Presidents Crow, Robbins, and Cruz Rivera, and Director Arnold, thank you so much for having me here today. And I know it's been some time since a governor has come to an ABOR meeting, and I really hope that my presence today demonstrates my commitment to ABOR and our universities. Our universities truly are one of our state's strongest assets. Your collective ability to drive progress and excellence is unmatched, and I am inspired by the unique endeavors that you have each taken on and the individual ways that you are setting yourselves apart and moving Arizona forward. Take Arizona State University's recent addition to the Association of American Universities and the $40 million award announced last week of the Southwest Advanced Prototyping Hub, Microelectronics Commons. This is a transformational investment for Arizona and will position us to be one of the leading centers for semiconductor manufacturing in the nation and possibly the world. Earlier this month, we celebrated the University of Arizona's $30 million grant to fund the new Frontiers of Sound. And on Sunday, OSIRIS-REx, a NASA mission led by U of A, returned the first and largest ever asteroid sample to Earth. And Northern Arizona University's leadership in forestry and environmental sciences is ensuring our lands are prosperous in the future. and your leadership in expanding access and opportunity is a game changer for Arizona students. This is all possible because of the vision of our university presidents and the support of this board to execute that vision. In addition to celebrating your successes, I want to ask for your continued partnership and collaboration in building an Arizona for everyone, which our universities are key to doing. My top post-secondary education priority is to increase access for low-income, first-generation, and students of color. Every Arizonan should have the opportunity to learn beyond high school and attain some type of post-secondary degree or certification. The state's attainment goal, Achieve 60 AZ, is the North Star for this work, with the Arizona Promise program as the foundation. And with your support, we were able to double the Promise program this year. But there's still work to be done to grow the program to be a primary source of state-based financial aid for Arizona students. I know the board and staff have done substantial research on similar programs from other states, and I look forward to working with you to build a best-in-class Promise program that helps us attract and retain Arizona students. I would also appreciate hearing your ideas and potential solutions to expand access, increase affordability, and provide wraparound services to our students. It isn't enough to just get them in the door. We need to ensure that they are fully supported to help them succeed once they get here. There's also more work to be done to support DACA and undocumented students who want to go to college. With the passage of Proposition 308 by Arizona voters last year, there's now an opportunity for these students to pay in-state tuition. And while they're not eligible for federal financial aid, they are eligible for institutional aid and support. And the problem is that many of their families, parents, and school staff don't know this. So I'm asking for the board's support to build awareness about this with your staff, parents, and students, and create a tool that students and their families can use instead of the FAFSA to get the help that they need. This should be prioritized as many students need aid for the upcoming semester. One of the biggest barriers I hear from students and families is about the cost of higher education. Families need to know that there is support to help them pay for their child's education. Last year, Arizona students left more than $100 million worth of Pell Grants on the table. We've got to do more to help our students apply and receive these funds. And I'd like to see our FAFSA completion rate increase, and we'll stand ready to partner with the board on its FAFSA efforts. Developing Arizona's future talent is another important priority for my administration. And as I think about the future of Arizona, I know that we will only be as good as our talent is strong. We're at a very important inflection point with companies leading in advanced manufacturing, semiconductors, clean energy, electric vehicles, and much more entering the state, investing in the state, and creating opportunities in the state. We need to ensure Arizona students are prepared and ready for these jobs of the future. And the time is now for us to double down on growing our own talent. If we can focus our energy here, we can position the state as a talent hub for innovative thinking that can fuel our future economy. This is our moment to create programs and develop talent that will change the trajectory of our future in the form of increased earnings, higher educational attainment, lower unemployment, and increased opportunities for all Arizonans. Going hand in hand with talent is the need to recruit and retain great educators across the state. As you know, I created the Educator Retention Task Force earlier this year, and in December should have their recommendations. They've recently surveyed nearly 10,000 current and former teachers and education support professionals across the state to hear from them about what's working and what's not. Additionally, they've been learning about the many programs our universities have in place to fill these educator gaps. I look forward to sharing their recommendations with you and discussing ways that we can partner together to build and strengthen the educator workforce. Another key priority is closely aligned with the AZ Healthy Tomorrow initiative. I've been excited to hear about the different ways that each university is leaning in to build the health workforce that we need with more doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals. As you know, we have a significant shortage when it comes to these professionals. And like many of you, I've heard from Arizonans across the state about how hard it is to get in to see a doctor or get an appointment with another provider. I've also heard from those in rural communities about how difficult it is to be seen, especially by specialists. I'm encouraged by all the initiatives, including the one that was announced here this morning, that will accelerate meeting our workforce needs. And this is another area that I'm looking forward to working in partnership with the board. And in that spirit, and to help support some of this work, I'm excited to announce an investment of $11 million in the Healthy Tomorrow Initiative, which is on top of the $15 million given to the universities earlier this year for this effort. Additionally, through conversations with leadership, I've been made aware that there is interest from the board to examine the potential of reinstituting a funding formula for the universities. And so I would like to ask for the board to create some options to inform our collective thinking about what this could look like for the state. And I'd like to ask you to create multiple options for review that recognize growth, prioritize Arizona students, and drive attainment. In concert with this, I'd like to see your thoughts on revenue options that could support such a model. Again, thank you so much for your support, collaboration, and partnership. Working together, I am confident that we will help more Arizona students access and afford a college education, and that Arizona will become a leader in talent development. And I look forward to our further conversations today. Thank you so much.
Wow, are we in alignment? Thank you, Governor. Fantastic. Yes, we will meet you on all of that. What we thought we'd do, Governor, with your valuable time is to hear from some students. We have partnered on a number of things. You've indicated what some of those are, but obviously Promise, important to you, important to us. Teachers Academy, important to both of us. Healthcare, important to both of us. So we thought we would get out of the data world and into the anecdotal and personal world of how these programs are touching people's lives and why we're doing what we're doing. So in that spirit, I'm going to call on some people to hear those stories. Maria Amelia, I think, is first off, and she's going to speak on behalf of the student body. There she is. Maria.
Hello, good morning,
Morning.
Governor Hobbs, members of the Board of Regents, and members of the public. My name is Maria Emilia Mackler, and I'm an undergraduate student here at NAU in my senior year studying international affairs and Spanish. I currently serve as the president of NAU Student Government, the Associated Students of NAU. I want to take a moment to share how vital it is for our students at NAU, as well as Arizona State University and the University of Arizona, to have access to affordable, high-quality college education. NAU was my first and only choice for higher education. And one of the major factors that influenced my decision was the scholarships provided by the university that helped me not stress about financial worries that had been clouding my decision. Knowing just how important a college education can be to individuals' futures and to the health of our communities through the state, it is essential that we find ways to ensure that those students have a pathway to opportunities through affordable post-secondary education. Efforts like the Arizona Promise program, which provides Arizonians with a scholarship guarantee, and the Arizona Teachers Academy program, which empowers teachers to stay in Arizona through tuition coverage and build a brighter future for the next generation, are incredibly impactful. I want to share my appreciation for the vision and advocacy of the board, our universities, and the state of Arizona in supporting these programs. And I applaud President Cruz Rivera for continuing to emphasize access, affordability, and excellence in his leadership at NAU through additional measures on this front, like access to excellence tuition guarantee that began this fall. I am privileged enough to have been able to receive these scholarships to finance my education at NAU, but I know that not many are as lucky. I have heard time and time again in student government as we work to provide essentials needs for students who have significant financial stressors that prevent them from pursuing their studies. I encourage you to continue to invest in and expand these programs so that my peers can see a future for themselves at NAU, ASU, and UA. Know that when we provide aid to students, the pathway to economic mobility becomes a reality, and we truly do change lives. Those lives changed by higher education contribute to the vitality of the state that we all love and call home. Thank you.
Thank you for picking NAU. Big future ahead, I'm sure. Thank you for those comments. Eli Bergstein, next up to talk about the Promise program. Eli, welcome.
Good morning, Governor. Is this on? We're good? Okay. Good morning, Governor Hobbs and members of the board. I'm Eli Bergstein, and I'm here on the behalf of NAU and SSS to talk about how Arizona Promise has impacted me. I'm a second generation college student. My mom didn't start going to college till she was in her late 30s. She has 3 degrees now, but didn't start till much later. I have muscular dystrophy and 2 adopted little brothers, and grew up going to MDA camp and being in the special needs field, getting that type of help growing up, etc. Limited money on both sides of my families made it not almost possible for me to be able to go to college, but additional FAFSA and AZ Promise help has allowed me the opportunity to pursue speech pathology, which is currently my major, which is my way of trying to give back to the community that I got so much help from growing up with muscular dystrophy. AZ Promise allows people the opportunity to attend public colleges at a much cheaper cost and gives people the opportunity to expand their education in ways that aren't possible. And yeah, I guess for me, it's just very impactful because it gives me an opportunity to try to give back in a way that wouldn't be possible with speech pathology and being able to help others that need my help. That's what I have.
Thank you. Eli, stay in Arizona after you leave, after you get your degree, okay? We need you. Gabriel Garcia, Arizona Teachers Academy.
Should start on page 1. Good morning, Governor Hobbs and members of the Arizona Board of Regents. It is both an honor and a privilege to share my comments with you this morning. My name is Gabrielle Garcia, and I've been a math and leadership teacher at Coconino High School here in Flagstaff for the past 19 years. In the fall of 2021, I was accepted to the Arizona Teacher Academy and to NAU's graduate program to obtain a master's degree in mathematics education. Before I speak about the ATA, I would like to share some history with you all. 23 years ago, I stepped foot on the campus of Northern Arizona University with the intention of earning a bachelor's degree in secondary education with a minor in mathematics. I came to NAU having earned the NAU Emerging Scholar Award, a full tuition scholarship, plus a small stipend toward books and supplies. Throughout my 4 years at NAU, I worked a job, sometimes up to 3 jobs, to provide for my living expenses. My goal was to complete college and with no debt. I never knew of tuition forgiveness, so completing my program with no debt was a priority. I graduated in May of 2004 and began teaching in August, debt-free. For about 7 or 8 years, I taught pre-calculus. However, our school district decided to partner with CCC in making the course into a dual enrollment one. At that point in time, I was no longer able to teach a course I truly loved without a master's degree. About 5 years ago, I resolved that I would likely never get my master's degree. The money I would invest in completing an additional degree would never be able to be restored at that point with the additional salary earned by the degree. Hindsight's always 20/20. If I could tell my 22-year-old self one thing, it would be to complete a master's degree right away and not wait. However, since I can't go back in time, I had just come to the resolution that it wasn't for me. That is until 2 years ago when I learned about the ATA. Applying and being accepted to the program, along with my acceptance to NAU's graduate program, were very exciting. Although the past 2 years have pressed me to balance classes in addition to being a full-time teacher, a wife, and a mom of 4. It is a relief to know that my repayment is to continue teaching in Arizona for 2 more years, which I plan to do for many more. As a student in the program, I have been able to learn about current teaching and assessment practices, pedagogy, and growing my knowledge of mathematical content. It has been rewarding thus far to work with other teachers in Arizona, many of whom also participate in the Arizona Teacher Academy. We have been able to collaborate and sharpen one another towards success. Each one of us brings various strengths and weaknesses. Not only has the program at NAU pressed us toward greatness, we have also been given the opportunity to share ideas with teachers across the state and in some cases the country. We have developed a greater sense of our role in empowering young people for success. For me, this would not have been possible without the support of the Arizona Teacher Academy. After my completion of the program in December, I will be able to teach a dual enrollment class that will afford the students at my school to earn college credit in high school. In addition to that, I have grown tremendously and feel grateful for those who have labored before me to make this program what it is today. Thank you for affording me the opportunity to share my story with you and how the Arizona Teacher Academy, in conjunction with NAU's math department, are launching me into my next. Thank you.
I love those stories. Thank you. That is good stuff. Our last speaker is Mary Jo Gregory. She's president and CEO of NARBA. You heard about NARBA a few minutes ago because NARBA is one of the early funders and partners of the new NAU Health Initiative. Mary Jo was recently awarded an honorary doctorate of humane letters from NAU, and it's an honor to have her. Ms. Gregory.
Good morning, Governor Hobbs, members of the Arizona Board of Regents, President Cruz Rivera, and other distinguished guests. My name is Mary Jo Gregory, and I serve as the president and CEO of the NARBA Institute here in Flagstaff. Thank you for the privilege today to join you and share some thoughts on the state of healthcare education and provider availability in Northern Arizona. We're grateful for the critical work that is being pursued by Northern Arizona University to curate this landscape and improve the health and well-being of all Arizonans, especially our rural, indigenous, and other underserved communities in Arizona. My hope today is to offer a few thoughts illuminating how NAU Health aligns with the professional healthcare needs in our community. My career began as a nurse and journeyed through hospital administration and leadership. Of significance in my more than 40+ years have been amazing improvements in life expectancy, simply by understanding the art and science of healthcare. Teaching clinicians and the public about the modifiable risk factors that can prevent disease and death has made a palpable difference. Cardiovascular disease is one such example. CPR became an expectation, taught at all levels, and millions of lives have been saved. Academia's capability of translating scientific research into practice has created a pathway for the mission to change and manage lifestyle risks, such as blood pressure, weight, smoking, and cholesterol. And as we all know, heart disease because of this has been significantly reduced. I use this as an example to show that much of this success has been taught across health platforms, supported clinically and scientifically within our health and academic settings. Teaching matters, local engagement matters, and embedding well-being into our academic and practical environments matter. Our health professional community has surmounted critical issues from technology to wildfires, patient safety to quaternary organ transplant, and academia has led much of the science and the medicine. But it wasn't until the pandemic that the reality and impact of health professional well-being and health equity became a universal reality and made its way to center stage. The healthcare workforce, regionally and nationally, is wounded. We're losing providers at all levels. Coincidentally, today, in a partnership with the Arizona Department of Health Services, we are funding a conference with 260 health professionals across 80 organizations in Arizona on well-being. And the central theme is professional kindness. Led by two celebrated experts in eliminating professional burnout, Dr. Stephen Swenson from Mayo and Dr. Kate Schanfeld from Stanford, are right now helping these health professionals to reboot. NAU Health stands in a pivotal position at a critical time to change the trajectory of health and medical education. Three key components embedded in the NAU Health framework, vision, culture, and resources, create a formula for its success. In the ecosystem that NAU Health has envisioned, we welcome the promise of community health and equity throughout all of the degrees in health professionals, and we pledge our expertise to illuminate and fund well-being. Culturally, NAU's health intent to contemplate a college of medicine, embracing primary care physicians with a passion to invest in the people of Arizona, is purposeful, wise, and has legacy results. The importance from a resource perspective to explore innovative solutions, eliminating the crushing medical debt, speaks to health equity on many levels. Our vulnerable populations and our ever elusive future beckons NAU to proceed in these admirable, inspirational, and critical endeavors. Thank you all for your consideration and work on this, and also for being the architects of positive change.
Thank you, Ms. Gregory, and thank you all for giving us your stories and your testimony to what we're doing, and really validating that our focus on these things is the right focus, has impact on Arizonans and on building a better future. So we're very, very grateful for your willingness to be a part of this discussion and help us set the template for our work ahead. At this point, we're concluding today's public meeting. The board is scheduled to reconvene in executive session for a review of assignments with Executive Director Arnold, and immediately following the executive session, the board will automatically adjourn. I'd like to thank President Cruz Rivera, the staff who put these meetings are complicated, they're hard. We're grateful for the hospitality. Director Arnold and your board staff for the work that went into today's meeting, and the board is now in recess.